What's going on? Welcome back to Random Binder. This is Chris with another video, and today is another old school RuneScape video. I guess I would say back by popular demand, not as much in terms of numbers, but like the sheer kindness and support from the old school RuneScape community on my my video about playing old school RuneScape on mobile instead of doom scrolling. And I truly got a lot of really wholesome feedback on that video, and it was just cool because I know there's a super hardcore RuneScape YouTube community that I watch, and they're doing crazy Ultimate Iron Man stuff and all these challenges and stuff. Settled is one of my favorite YouTube channels, and there's flipping old school, doing flipping challenges and stuff like that. There's leagues and stuff that I don't even understand, to be honest. So basically, it was nice to be a washed, 2007 to 2009 era RuneScape player coming back to just kind of play on my phone on my lunch break and commute, and have so many other people feel the same way. Oh my God, there's a car honking outside like crazy. But anyways, so yeah, I usually have just been using the game for skilling, and I know some of you agree the same way, but there's a couple folks that encouraged me to try other methods, other grinds, and then a couple folks telling me to do some more quests, try some bosses and stuff like that for money making, just for fun. And yeah, for the first time in quite a few years, I was doing quests that weren't necessarily required just for whatever skill I was working on. The last few quests I did in a row were to get me to be able to do my farm runs more efficiently. I forget, now I'm blanking on the place that has a bunch of bananas. Also, I apologize, for someone who plays RuneScape as much as I do and have watched dozens, if not hundreds, probably hundreds of hours of content about it on YouTube, my ability to come up with the lore and the quests, I know Monkey Madness and Monkey Madness 2 are very respectable quests to get done. And back in my day, Dragon Slayer and Demon Slayer were really hard. So you're watching me grow in front of you to being a less novice RuneScape player. But anyway, so yeah, I was banging out some quests. Also, yeah, I just figured this would be kind of an informal chat every maybe every 2 weeks. I realistically don't do enough interesting shit over the course of the week to do a weekly video. Otherwise, I'd love to, and we'll see. But most likely I'll be, I locked in and did 2 nights of questing and then some skilling for the rest of the week. So I guess before I go on about the quests, to catch you up with where I'm at the time of publishing this, I will be at 98 woodcutting. So I am this close. I have a distraction plugin that pops up that puts a black overlay over the screen when you're skilling. So it's been kind of nice to just, really AFK redwoods. And at this point I have 18,000 redwood logs in my bank, which is worth over 10 mil, which once again, to me, who's not camping rune dragons or doing a bunch of high level slayer tasks, that's a lot of money. So the big goals I'll figure out a structure of this in the future, but right now it's just a casual chat with your bud Chris. So yeah, short-term goal, get 99 woodcutting. And then my goal after that was, I've been banking all these logs. I have a couple thousand U logs, close to 10,000 U logs, and then close to 5,000 magic logs. Nothing crazy, but that magic log grind was ass. So I'll need to either get maple logs or chop a couple thousand U logs or something to get me to that threshold of getting to 90 woodcut or 90 firemaking, so I can do the rest of my, I don't know if that 18,000 will get me to 99 firemaking, but it'll get me pretty close. And I've been doing research on Wintertod. I don't remember if somebody in the comments, for reference, I maybe get 0 to 3 comments on any given video, and I had 40 exactly, I think, well, 40 counting my responses. So let's say 20 to 22 unique comments on the old school RuneScape video. So very cool, thank you all. I'll make sure to start bringing up some of these comments in these future videos. So thank you so much. It's not even a YouTuber thing, just I appreciate it. It made my day every time I would get a new comment, so thank you. So yeah, goal is finish up woodcutting, but in the meantime, to just kind of keep myself fresh, I wanted to find a good money-making grind that wasn't super stressful. I tried camping different types of dragons. I did green dragons of the wilderness. I did blue dragons or mithril dragons or whatever. Oh wait, hold on. Are blue dragons real? It's old school RuneScape. Yes. I think these are the ones I was camping, so tried those. I tried a couple different like killing, and it was okay. You know, I was banking dragon bones, and it was just like too high stress for not that much hourly GP. So I banged out some quests to unlock. I actually hopped on the elf series of quests. I want to be able to build my bankroll up because I was happy with like 5-6 mil that I got from doing my fishing and cooking 99s of doing sharks, and I sold those and got, you know, a couple mil here and there. So I've been using that to kind of get 10 herb lore up, 10 crafting at a time, you know, work on my farming, stuff like that. A medium term goal is to get all my skills to base 50, and I was able to get my Slayer up. I think since I recorded that video, at least, my Slayer went from, you know, 32 to 40 in the course of like 2 days, which, you know, it was fun. It was finally fun to do, which is nice because my combat's a lot better. Oh, a big grind I was doing was I was grinding range at the bandits at the bandit camp in Al Kharid, but Nightmare Zone. I had to do a couple of quests, and I don't remember what they were. It doesn't really matter. Probably, you know, not Priest in Peril, but something like that. The vampire one and a couple other ones, you know, very well-known ones. I'm just blanking on the names. It doesn't really matter. So I've been able to do Nightmare Zone. I got my defense up from 80 to 86, but that's costing a lot more money than I thought. So that's what kickstarted the money-making endeavor. So I wanted to unlock Sacred Eels, essentially. So, you know, watched a bunch of videos, and I was like, my fishing and cooking are both really high. This seems like a pretty solid one, and it seems pretty chill. And it is pretty chill, actually. I enjoy, just to get to the end of it, I enjoy, you know, you catch the Sacred Eels, you do the scales, so you don't have to bank really at all until you're done with that grind, with however much fishing bait you have and however much patience you have. So, but, you know, the end product is great. I made, I think, 2 mil off of my grind, and that was just like, all right, I got a little impatient after like 2 days of that, because I wanted to get back to woodcutting. So, but yeah, it was great. So that'll get me through 10 levels of some consumable skill. So what got me there was, you know, I found that out. I found out I had to do regicide to get to the Tyra's camp. And so I was like, all right, regicide. And then of course I hadn't done Underground Pass, I hadn't done Biohazard. I hadn't even done Plague City, and I, talking about Settled earlier, and I don't know if that was his Mauritania Swampaletics account, or if it's a different account, but I know for a fact I watched him do Regicide at least once, and watched him do Plague City at least once, so it was funny finally doing that for myself on this account. I must have done it back in, you know, middle school, but I did Plague City. That took 4 seconds. It was just ridiculous. It was pretty funny. Some of this writing is ridiculous, like a lot of it's campy, but some of it's like pretty clever. Then Biohazard, I don't really remember that one, to be honest. Underground Pass was kind of cool. For those of you who care, I watched that while marathoning the Ruthless Aggression series on Peacock on WWE. And it was kind of funny because this is actually around the time that RuneScape was really like big, was in that like 2003 to 2008 era. And obviously it's been big since then, and it continues to be potentially bigger than it ever was. I don't know the numbers, but you know, so that was a little bit of fun. So Underground Pass, although it was kind of a pain in the ass, it's the first time in a while I was actually engaged by a quest. Because yeah, I use the RuneLite plugin, I click, like go through all the dialogue, like, you know, sometimes I read it, sometimes I don't. So Underground Pass was fun, and then of course Regicide was so many treks through the damn Underground Pass, through this fucking, I did that and then Roving Elves after that for another grind I'll talk about in a second. That was a lot of going through that, whatever that forest is, where there's like traps and you're getting poisoned and getting hit by, you know, branches and shit. So it got to the point where I'm in full guthins and I'm stabbing these bears just to like get some of my health back so I don't have to use potions and food, because I know I'm gonna have to go through the pass again. But it was fun. Underground Pass was pretty cool because I think that was when you have to kill all the paladins, and I enjoyed that. It was like a lot of enemy variety that I'm not used to with just my skilling, and a little bit of Slayer here and there, a lot of sand crabs in my pass. So I don't really interact with like too many different types of enemies. So Underground Pass is a cool area. I'm just not going to be grinding that anytime soon because it stresses me out. So got Regicide done, and then I was able to grind out my eels for a bit, and then my method for that moving forward is to buy 2,500 bait. That'll last me a while, and then once that 2,500 bait is done, that'll get me, I forget what the math ended up being, but let's just say like between 1.5 and like 2, maybe 3 mil of Zora scales. I learned to be patient finally. I'm so used to insta selling on the Grand Exchange, so, and also a lot of you are using Ultimate Iron Man accounts or whatever. I just am not at that level yet. I am a stressed individual by default, let alone with like how real world works, so I don't want to be doing any of that. I like being able to kind of like rely on the Grand Exchange for some things. For like quest materials, like I like to be able to just like buy that stuff and do the quest instead of finding the spawn points for like, you know, a set of shears is a bad example, but like, you know, a pair of leather gloves, whatever. Some of these things that are like, I know very pedestrian and cost very little, but I don't want to have to figure out where to get them. Maybe in the future, like I'll really like fall in love with that type of grind, but to me, I like scaling. I like watching small number get big number, get really big number. So, yeah, the elf quests have been cool so far. It's been interesting twists and turns, and you know, no spoilers for this however many decade-old game. But there was something at the very end of Regicide that really kind of threw me for a loop. So, unfortunately, I don't remember the most of what happened in Roving Elves. I did Roving Elves because I wanted to get the Crystal Bow, because I think McTile or from Settled's playlist, Settled's series called McTile, where he's a tile bound, I think he's Ultimate Iron Man. Yeah. It was either his Grandmaster task that he got he has the Twisted Bow now, but he used the Crystal Bow. I didn't even know about like this quest, but I think it was McTile, yeah, that he was doing some of the elf quests. I think he did Song of the Elves, but yeah, I got the Crystal Bow for future range grinding. I don't know, because I've just been using like rune knives like a weirdo. So I thought it'd be cool to have like a really high level, I don't even know if that's, I think I read in the description at least, it's like one of the highest rated range weapons, so, and it didn't cost me any money, it just cost me time. So I was like, I'm in. So I wanted to have some like elite level stuff other than just buying an Abyssal Whip on the Grand Exchange and, you know, whatever else, all the other dragon tools I have that I just bought. You know, I didn't earn any of those, so it was cool to get that. But I haven't done anything with that yet. So that's kind of the long and short of my experience with the elf quests. And then, so yeah, I'll be getting money. I've been looking at trying to build up more of a not bankroll, that doesn't sound right, more of like a good, steady, solid foundation of like 10 mil to have as like a rainy day fund, or for like, you know, doing high level quests and stuff like that, to be able to get that stuff without having to grind more. And then get more capital to be able to invest into doing herb lore, whether that be unfinished potions, even like cleaning grimy herbs, and then like selling those. And ideally with herb lore, from what I understand, if you can get like a decent chunk of change, then, you know, and you pick the right grind, it'll kind of you'll get your money back and a little bit more, and you can just keep using that over and over. I know there's like quicker ways to, you know, level up, but I think I love like a financially sustainable method. So, sorry, my camera gave me an error message, but yeah, so that is my kind of spiel about why I'm trying to get a bankroll. It seems a little silly, but I also really liked getting my defense up in Nightmare Zone, and, you know, full Guthins, having to repair it. It's like you know, a third of a mil every time I have to repair it, which is every 2 days of Nightmare Zone. So at the very least, like to get myself up to 90 to kind of soothe that OCD in the back of my head, I think that's going to take a couple more mil worth of capital from doing the eel grind that I truly enjoy. I don't mind at all. And And I'd rather not sell off my logs because, you know, I can do fire making that way. And that being said, the last part of this is Wintertod. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm proud of myself for just doing quests, you know. And then I got this crystal bow that I haven't done anything with yet. So I think I might do, for, you know, if I'm gonna make this a regular series, might, you know, pick at random like 3 quests to bang out and talk about those experiences. Maybe try to pay a little bit more attention to the lore in these quests, but right now it's just get from 98 to 99 woodcutting. That'll be my 3rd skill cape for those of you who haven't watched the previous video. I went my whole life without having a skill cape, and then I got fishing at the end of the new year, and then, or I don't even remember actually, maybe it took me a whole year in between, but you know, at a New Year's party with my friends, I got 99 fishing. So maybe that was 2023 going to 24, and then 24 into shortly after New Year's, no, that was cooking. That was my first 99 ever, and then I got fishing somewhat recently in like January, which is why I made that video talking about doom scrolling and scaling and stuff like that. So I don't think I'll be getting the skill cape anytime soon, but it is fun. Let's see. So as of right now, this is gonna be pretty ridiculous to some of you, because I've done Ernest the Chicken, but I've not done Imp Catcher. Just like literally just opening up the quest list. But I have 20, oh, that's terrible. I have 29 out of 170 quests done. So maybe that'll be a fun way of, I'll give an update, you know, every like 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks, depending on what's going on. I have like a cousin's wedding this upcoming weekend, so obviously I won't be grinding too hard once the weekend hits, but I think I'll be able to get a lot of skilling done this week to get 99 woodcutting, so I can chat about that. I'll at least try Wintertod this week. I just have to figure out how to get there. Like, I haven't done whatever the quest that gives you the fairy ring, which is ridiculous, but that's another thing. It's like I've been kind of doing all this hand behind my back, like not using fairy rings at all. I just use like skill necklace, games necklace, or you know, Amulet of Glory, or I just finally started using, you know, runes for teleporting to Varric, because I used to just use the home teleport to Lumbridge and then run to Varric at time I had to go, which is ridiculous, just because I didn't want to use one law rune or whatever. So those are all my tidbits. I know this is a bit all over the place, but to be honest, if I had made a video about my RuneScape activity any other given month, it would have been, yep, still grinding from 72 to 78 woodcutting, or, you know, in one random day, I was like, fuck it, and I went from 70 to 78 firemaking over the course of like a day or two, watching Danny Phantom on my TV in the background. So at least I'm doing things, and I have to thank this community for that. So I'll do, you know, I'll do Quest Roulette. Hopefully there's some type of spreadsheet that I can at least filter out like the Grandmaster level tasks with the really long ones. You know, I can do a long, a short, and a medium or something like that. A short to get myself warmed up, and just kind of talk about some of those. I'm sure there'll be some people rolling their eyes that I haven't done the Creature of Feckenstrain, or I haven't done Prince Ali Rescue. I know I did in the old account, so it's just hilarious that I haven't done some of these free quests, let alone like the very common other ones. But I am curious to see how this elf quest goes. I guess that's a long-term goal for this, you know, this account and this channel, is to get my way through Song of the Elves, because I've never done it. And definitely want to do Monkey Madness and Dragon Slayer 1 and 2. I'm sure I did Dragon Slayer 1, but I definitely haven't done Dragon Slayer 2. And I want to say Demon Slayers are right, a factual. Am I wrong? Is that not real? Dragon Slayer 2 is real. Demon Slayer is 1, which I haven't even finished yet, and Dragon Slayer 1 I haven't finished yet. So at least I did Ernest the Chicken. So all that's to say, having a great time, expanding my horizons a little bit. Yeah, this channel's, it's called Random Binder Chris. It comes from me just kind of being all over the place as a kid. I'd be trying to write a comic one day, I'm writing song lyrics another, I'm drawing, I'm coloring, I'm doing all this shit. Like, that was how I stayed out of trouble as a kid. And, you know, and I played RuneScape, and The Sims, and Wii Bowling, and, you know, and N64 wrestling games. So that's kind of like how it goes. But yeah, so some thought pieces, you know, some like video, not even video essays, because I don't do that much video editing, but some rants, about like anime and stuff coming up. We got this, you know, RuneScape video every couple weeks, let's say. Every 2 weeks is what I'm aiming for. I do 2 videos a week right now. I have a bunch of games in my collection that I either haven't played since like middle school or I've never played and gotten a really good deal. It's funny, some of these were definitely like buy two, get one, you know, clearance bin stuff from GameStop back in the day, and they still have like the price tags on them and stuff. So you can see like getting a GameCube game for $3.99 these days is like just not that common. So it'll be fun to go through some of these and compare their price charting, what they are now, and just talk about like what my memory is, and then play it for a bit and what my experience, you know, how is it aged? Am I trash at it? Is it intuitive? How do the graphics hold up? Things like that. So anyways, thank you so much for checking this video out. Catch you in the next one. Later. Bye.